Imagine yourself walking into a bar, and the first woman you see at the bar is super friendly and strikes up a conversation with you. As a rational man, you will first be suspicious, as women don't often do this, but at some point you'll start to think that she's flirting with you. However, she might be someone friendly, just trying to have some conversation. This is one of the issues many men face, who tend to misjudge that a woman might be flirting when she's just friendly. However, it can often be the other way around. In most cases, there are definitive signs of attraction when it comes to men and women being nice to one another. Today, we look at some of the more subtle signs, which should often give you a general indication of whether she's being friendly or if she's flirting with you. But what does the psychology say about being friendly versus flirting? The expert take. Before even looking at some of the signs, it is fundamental that you understand how human nature works, which should enable you to easily predict and spot what people are feeling. You see, according to many psychological studies, most people are out for themselves in the world of self-preservation. This also means that everyone is so preoccupied with their own thoughts, which often makes them treat others as if they don't exist. This means that whenever someone does take the time to actually engage in conversation with you, there is a reason. And many men see this as the first sign of attraction from a woman. You see, women tend to use their charm and wit to navigate life, and whilst they still follow the same life principles of self-preservation, it is the highly pitched tone, soft voice, and positive facial expressions that often make men think that she likes him. However, you need to keep in mind that every woman will still try to be friendly as a way of not bringing out the ire in society or angering someone. This is what is often misread as flirting. But today we will look at 7 clear signs that a woman is flirting, and not just being nice, so you can know when to let something go or when to pursue something without misreading the situation. Number 1. The eyes cannot lie. Number 1 is a little less concrete and might still leave a little speculation on the table, but the eyes are the windows to the soul, and they often light up when someone's interested. Small things like dilated pupils and a focused look could be clear signs that she might seem interested in you. You see, one of the fundamentals of humans is the way they react when they see someone else. Whether you're a man or a woman, you can hide the feelings if you are consciously aware of them. But subconscious things like your eyes are very hard to change and fake. One thing that you'll notice to confirm attraction is that she will continuously look at you. This continuous stare is a way of trying to entice you to make the move. Now, bear in mind her eyes won't be constantly fixed on you, but if you keep looking at one another, you should frequently make some eye contact. Additionally, there will be a happy emotion in the eyes, which is hard to describe and can only be seen in person. If she does like you, she's naturally intimidated by you as well. So this means she might break eye contact relatively often by looking down at the floor. In psychology, this is one of the first signs that she is slowly submitting to you. Eye contact is perhaps the best way to gauge the feelings of someone, and whether they make excessive contact or constantly look away from you, both do have their merits, which could signal attraction. Bear in mind that it takes time to master this, and every person might have their baseline. You'll notice how they deviate from this baseline the moment you see them being attracted. Finally, we recommend that if you have female friends, you see how they react whenever they're attracted to someone. This will be universal, and if you see a woman behaving the same way around you, you should be able to discern whether or not she's actually attracted to you or not. Number 2. Proximity play. Proximity play is one of the most unique signs that someone is attracted to you or feels safe around you, and when you look at the people surrounding you, you can see this at play. You see, we naturally tend to gravitate toward those we trust, and when we have a couple of friends around us when we go out, we tend to be within reasonable proximity of them. Proximity play can be heavily witnessed in women in various situations as well. First, a random woman might try to be as close to you, and she might even try to walk by your table more frequently. She will also constantly be looking in your direction, which is a clear sign of attraction, and you should make a move. However, if you already have a woman with you, and each time you find yourself she's within arm's length, she is subconsciously compelled to be close to you. You'll notice that even if she sees space somewhere in the distance, she'll want to sit as close to you as possible. This is because we often label attractive people as being trustworthy, and they will focus on trusting you and being around you. Funny enough, this can be witnessed in all human beings, and if you have a friend and want to see who they like the most, you should see who they're staying close to when you go out. You see, we want to be as close to those we like as we can, as a way of feeling safe and showing trust. This will be one of the most critical signs that, if spotted, you can use to your advantage if your feelings are similar. Number 3. Nervous fiddling and fussing. One of the more universal signs that you've already probably come across from many online influencers is when a woman is constantly fiddling with her hair and other parts of her body. You see, this is what is known as a soothing behavior. One of the main reasons for this is that whenever you're attracted to women, you automatically become somewhat nervous and intimidated. For women, this is even amplified, and many women tend to go above and beyond when it comes to fiddling. One of the first things you notice when you're talking to a woman who is not just friendly and attracted to you is that she will try to make her body language seem as cute as possible. This is often shown when she adopts a tilted head and a slightly reserved look. Once again, this is what women do as a way of showing they are vulnerable, and whenever she's attracted to you, she will definitely become somewhat vulnerable as a way of trying to show you that you need to be the one who's protecting her from the tough outside world. Accompanying this is the nervous fiddling, which often starts with fiddling with her hair and even hands. This soothing behavior is a way of allowing stress to dissipate from the body. On the flip side, a friendly woman will not seem as intimidated, and since her goal is only being friendly, she'll still have self-confidence. You see, if a woman is not somewhat intimidated by your presence, she's not into you that much. However, if you've been dating for quite a while, there's no need for her to be intimidated. Number 4. Self-deprecating or insulting jokes. If you're not as confident at reading body language, having a conversation with a woman is one of the best ways to gauge her level of attraction to you. Now, in conversation, there is a lot to unpack to understand exactly how attraction works. Once again, nervousness in her body language and voice are minor things you may pick up on. This will be even more prevalent if you've known each other, and you now have a baseline of understanding how she acts in most regular situations. This, once again, links to the previous point. However, what she is actually saying is also something you need to listen to, and one of the main reasons for many men missing opportunities is because they simply don't listen. You see, men are often so absorbed by their own thoughts, and this hinders any progress when it comes to dating and reading women. A woman that is into you will often make self-deprecating jokes in a way of trying to keep the conversation going. However, these jokes are also a test, where she will try to get you to correct her jokes, which turn out to be compliments that she receives. You see, women love compliments, and this generally shows them that someone finds them attractive. On the flip side, some women might be a little more direct, and this means she'll often make insulting jokes. These jokes are, more often than not, driven by some form of insecurity or even nervousness. However, she will check to see how you react to these jokes. Generally, there are 2 ways you can play this. The first is that you can simply laugh along and let her make these jokes. Some men have the charm to try and turn this around, like a Harvey Specter from the television series Suits. On the other hand, you can reciprocate with a couple of jokes about yourself. These jokes will either be met with nervous laughter, or she might be defensive, but this gives you a little more insight into her personality. The idea is to create some fun banter, especially if you can do it in good nature. Not only does it increase the attraction factor, but it also creates some intense feelings. Number 6. Direct and indirect flirting. Some women have learned that men suck at reading signs. You see, most men following this channel are out in the world focusing on their purpose and goals. The downside to living such a powerful and goal-driven lifestyle is all the stress that accompanies this. You see, when we're stressed, we simply ignore everything around us and we try to solve the problem, creating that uncomfortable feeling. This means that you're more bound to miss signs that she actually likes you. Over the last 2 decades, women have realized this, and some women are far more direct with their approaches. If you want to be sure that a woman likes you, you will notice this through her actions, which could be either direct or indirect flirting. Indirect flirting often means that she's giving you some subtle hints, like suggesting things that the 2 of you should do. This can often be tricky to pick up on, but if you just simply follow the flow and accept the compliments, you'll be playing right into her hands. However, direct flirting is perhaps the easiest way to see if a woman is attracted to you. You see, in many situations, a woman will flirt with you by paying you a couple of compliments. This direct form of flirting is especially apparent in more confident women. The idea is to entice you into giving her similar compliments. If this all goes well, the conversation should tether on a point of being somewhat sexual. As a man, you simply want to follow along and also give her a couple of compliments of your own. You will notice just how much she appreciates this and tries to be even more flirty in the process. Number 6. Social media stalking. Nowadays, everyone has a social media profile, and when you like someone, you might often find yourself checking out their profile. In fact, no one tends to stalk the social media profile of someone they don't have any affinity for. So, either they want to see you fail, or they'll want to check up on what you've been up to. Now, figuring out if she's stalking you through social media can be a very tedious process, and if she doesn't like all your photos or posts, you might not even notice this. However, humans are very territorial, and the chance of her reacting in some way is very prevalent. In fact, you'll notice that she constantly interacts with your social media page, which means that she's physically taking the time from her daily schedule to see what you've been up to. This is one of the best indicators that she's attracted to you in some way or another. The same goes for texting. You see, we cannot emphasize enough how busy life is, and nowadays everyone is fighting their own battles for either survival or to reach their goals. This means that most women are also self-absorbed in their own minds and don't have the mental capacity to share with someone else. So, you will not only notice her interacting with more of your posts on social media, but her response rate will be very high. In fact, she might even spam you with some funny memes or something to elicit a response from you at a faster rate as well. Whenever someone tries to get as much of your time and attention as they possibly can, you have to ask yourself if there is perhaps some reason for this. In the case of a woman doing so, attraction is most likely the reason. Number 7. Sexual conversations. The last sign is unmissable and often the only one that gets the attention of most men. However, women also revert to this only as their last option. But when you notice this, you can be sure that sexual attraction is definitely in the air. You see, women tend to be more conservative than men when they talk about intimate moments with people from the opposite sex. Now, this is if you've not been friend-zoned, in which case she might tell you about all her experiences, and you should know that she has you in the friend zone. However, if a woman is talking about some sexual stuff, and there are things she would like to do or she is gauging your sexual experience, you've hit the jackpot. In fact, this woman is ready, and she doesn't want to just be your friend or continue moving in some kind of friendly way. As a man, you will naturally be inclined to join the conversation, which is what you should do. But she won't continue dropping hints forever, and it's best if you can just follow your gut and make the move. You see, if you don't pick up on this, she might think you don't notice her. This is perhaps the one sign that could ultimately help you get that perfect girl. But women rarely show they're attracted, and it often takes a lot of time to actually pull this out of them. In fact, you'll need to know how to get her to fall in love or see you as the attractive guy. Make sure to check out this next video as a way of finally understanding what women want.